Health is like your playlist. You never know what's coming next, whether you need a checkup, flu medicine, or something more urgent. You need to know where to go. Enter Emory, with access to over 120 primary care locations and nearly 60-minute clinics and urgent care centers across the region, where you're in the hands of specially trained doctors and nurses, so you're covered no matter what. Click on this banner to find a location near you.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my T-Sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comfort together because it's time to dish the tea. And your dish darlings, with Big Meach.
Can't wait. Time to dish tea with Big Meach. Time to dish tea with Big Meach. Time to dish tea with Big Meach. Time to dish tea with Big Meach.
Darling.
My baby's babies deserve to have a better life. Sometimes I feel like we got snakes and leeches in our backyard. Some people say we got gangsters and hustlers in the state and White House. But what I do know is we got killers and dealers in our streets.
This old world ain't a friend of mine. Gotta find a way to get a piece of mind. This old world ain't a friend of mine. Love for one another is very hard to find. We got bombs in Boston, 12-year-olds dead in Cleveland. It's a fact, he was black. Yes, he was. 3-year-old little girl shot dead in the streets of Detroit. For those of you going through this song's for you. You gotta work hard just to pay your bills. But this world wants more than you have to feel. You can give your whole heart and get nothing in return. This world calls it lessons learned. Oh, this old world ain't a friend of mine. Gotta find a way to get a piece of mind. I need a piece of mind. This old world ain't a friend of mine. It ain't a friend of mine. Love for one another is very hard to find. We got a boiler coming overseas. Eric screaming, he can't breathe. Want some more? We hear you, please. Black Lives Matter. History is fun. Yellow blood. You know what I'm talking about. They can't stop our prosperity. Just keep on praying and watching me. You gotta work hard just to pay your bills. But this world wants more than you have to give. You can give your whole heart and get nothing in return. This world calls with lessons learned. This world ain't a friend of mine. This world ain't a friend of mine. This world ain't a friend of mine. It ain't a friend of mine. It ain't a friend of mine. No, it ain't a friend of mine. No, 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 it ain't a friend of mine. No, you can't trust nobody. Oh yeah, it ain't a friend of mine. No, no, no. You got snakes and leeches in your yard. You gotta hustle to live. I I gotta call on God.
We keep praying, even for our enemies, even though it's not a friend of mine.
You gotta go through struggle. We gotta deal with pain. This so life. You gotta deal with rain. Don't worry about the pain.
And hello. Up there in Blog Talk Radio land, here in the glorious United States of America and across the globe. I'm talking to all of those who are over there in Germany and Italy and France and the Ukraine and Beijing, China, and the Caribbean islands, and to all of you within the sound of my voice. It is another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is, honey. So I know you have all of your compass together, my darlings, because it's time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meach. Yes, right now we're coming here live, honey, from the Western Atlanta Airport Hotel. I'm sitting here in that lovely old Revive coffee shop, darling, where I'm having a lovely old hot chocolate because I can't do coffee anymore. So I'm having a hot chocolate over here. So if you want to come on over here and visit me, if you're here in the Atlanta area, again, I'm here at the Western Atlanta Airport. So if you hear a little background, that's why, honey, we're kind of live and this, that, and the other. So, yes, I'm ecstatic. I'm excited. We have a few things coming up. You guys know this is May. And I'm going to be very cute with y'all, honey, because May is what? National Masturbation Month. Yes, it is. Okay. And for those of you who celebrate well, honey, you could give yourselves a hand. Okay. So that's for starters. This is our first Wednesday of the month. I want to say happy birthday. I had a few birthdays that came through my road dog out there in the NYC. His birthday was on the 1st. I got a girlfriend of mine, honey, in Detroit. Her birthday is Sunday on Mother's Day. And, you know, of course, we have Mother's Day coming up. So for all of you who are mothers, biological or otherwise, honey, happy Mother's Day to you. Yes, my darlings. So, it's very ecstatic, honey. Very, 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 very that way. And listen, if you want to join in on this conversation, I encourage you to please call in. The number is 347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183. Press the number 1. Just press it one time. You'll hear the prompter say you are now in the host queue. That means that your hand has been raised on my system. I know who you are, and I will bring you in at the appropriate time, okay? So just be patient with me because I'm a one-person show over here and trying to maneuver between the board and my tea room over here. I'm trying to open up the tea room, children, but I see Blog Talkers having a problem with their connection. I got the studio up and running. The studio was fine. But everything else with Blog Talk is timing out or something is wrong with their system. So if I got a couple of glitches today, it's because something is wrong with the connection elsewhere. Now, my lead song today, I wasn't going to play that song, but the music of my guest today, I can't seem to upload into my system. So I'm going to have to play it live, and it may sound a little distorted. I don't want to do it that way because every time I try to play over the phone, you don't hear it well and all of that. But I'm going to play it anyway because the nature of this is to make sure you guys understand what I'm talking about because y'all got to feel this. Okay, you got to feel it. And after I've listened to this stuff, honey, I need y'all to be with me. So we're gonna take care of that and make sure that you guys hear what's coming up, okay? So just bear with me. I'm saying this at the top so that you guys know what's going on. So now let me put my other disclaimer here, the disclaimer for the show. That dishing tea with Big Meach is for mature audiences, and the language and or subject matters that you hear on this program are not intended for children
or anyone who is not mature and or responsible enough to handle the situation at hand. So your listening discretion is advised. I will repeat, Dishing Tea with Big Meach is for mature audiences, and the language and or subject matters that you hear on this program are not intended for children or anyone who is not mature and or responsible enough to handle the situation at hand. So your listening discretion is advised. Now, please understand, honey, I do have a potty mouth. I make no excuses for it, sugar. Okay, I'm 46 years young, a fresh 46. 2 months into the game now, as of today, actually. Okay. And, no, honey, I've earned the right to every 3, 4, 5, 15, 17, 26, 55, 117 letter and or syllable word that comes out of my mouth. Now, please understand, honey, I don't know what bag I'm coming out of. Just know that I'm coming out of one. And sometimes you may get the Gucci bag, honey. You might get the Louis Vuitton. You might get the Samsonite, honey. You just might even get the damn Farmer Jack Kroger sack, honey. I don't know which one I'm coming out of. Just know I'm coming out of one, okay? So, having said all that, let me let you guys know, here on May 22nd, which is my mother's birthday, in Atlanta, we do have Indigenous House. I believe this is number 5. Is it 5 or 6? I think it's 5. Indigenous House will be at Piedmont Park. We're going to be there in the pavilion from noon until 9 o'clock, sugar. Yes. Bring all of your A game, honey, because the doll will be there to kick and split and stretch and carry it on. We're going to give it to you like we did back in the day. Now, back in the day, honey, I was absolutely sickening. I'm fabulous now. Okay, I may not give you a full 6 o'clock, honey, but I could give you a good 3:15, maybe and even 4:30, honey. But we're going to get out there and do it the way we know how, okay, and the best that we can. So I want you guys to come on out. It is the first house music party of the year that's going to be here, kicking off the summer season right here at Piedmont Park here in Atlanta, Georgia. Again, Indigenous House in Atlanta, Georgia. That is May 22nd from noon until 9. Honey. So come on out there with me. You hear me? And I got a new body. So y'all used to see me dance and twiggle and wiggle and stuff with my hernia. But the hernia is gone now, sugar. So guess what? We're going to let you have it, okay? I live. Okay, so now let me do this. I've said my little announcements and all of that. I'm going to encourage you guys, depending on how we get through today's show, I do have a couple of Dear Big Meach letters that I want to get to, but I'm going to encourage you, visit the website, www.dishingtea.com. Just go there, honey, for all information about me, honey, me and Dishing Tea. You'll find out previous shows, upcoming shows. If you have a Dear Big Meach study, you want me to give you some advice on something, or you just want my take on a couple of things, and it's just my take, honey. Whether you take it or not, it's your choice. But please feel free to send it to me. You could email me directly, either at bigmeach@dishingtea.com, or just go to the website dishingtea.com and click on the link Contact Big Meach or Dear Big Meach, and you can submit your questions and stuff there, okay? That's going to be fabulous, darling, fabulous. So now, having said that, let me take a little commercial break here because I have to wet my palate. These opening comments, honey, just get to me. And I have to say this, and I need to say that, and blah, 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 blah. So let me let that be known, and then go ahead on up in here, and I'm going to take a little commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to someone, honey, who is a friend of the show and was here with us from the beginning, actually. When I first started, and the show would be 7 years old in July. When I first got started, this young man came to me, and we had vibed and carried on. And he came on as a supporter of the show under his production name, Parisian Wind Productions. Well, now, honey, my darling honey has branched out since then and still doing his thing, but taking his thing to a new level. So when we come back, we're going to talk to the one and only Mr. Paris Hairston, honey, who is now CEO and owner and creator of a new record label. I'm going to have him pronounce it because I'm going to tear this name up. So when he comes back, we're going to get the name, find out what's what, and we're going to start all about it. So let me do this. Wait a minute. I tell you, working with them, the smarter technology gets, the stupider it makes me feel. You know, yeah. Let me do this. I'll see you guys in just a few moments.
D Creative Boutique offers the most unique selection of high-quality handcrafted infant and children custom outfits, tutus, blankets, headbands, cough diapers, women's handbags, and much more. We're conveniently located at 19480 Livernois Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, on the famous Avenue of Fashion Shopping District. For more information, contact us at 313-744-9002. D Creative Boutique, a one-stop destination for fashionable families. Choosing art and custom framing is a personal experience, and at Eric's I've Been Framed, our consultants work closely with you to bring your vision to life, leaving you with more than a picture. We create showpieces and heirlooms for your family to enjoy for generations. Come and experience our creativity for yourself. Eric's I've Been Framed is located at 16527 Livernois Avenue in Detroit, Michigan. For more information, call 313-861-9263. Dishing Tea Entertainment, deliciously exposing your palate to a cornucopia of rainbow-colored dreams and a black and white reality, while cultivating the masses through a delicate blend of stage, screen, television, radio, print, and social media initiatives. For more information about Dishing Tea Entertainment, call Big Meach at 404-914-5610 or visit www.dishingtea.com.
Can
Come on now. Ease it away. All right, and we are back. Let me apologize for that little glitch, child. Every time I'm trying to do something, I tell you something, trying to come up in here and try to upset the groove. But we got it back on track. I had a system meltdown, and it interrupted my flow, and I had to come on back and get it rebooted. So we are back. If you're just tuning in on the conversation and want to come on in, the number to call is 347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183. Press the number 1, and let me know you got something to say, and I'll bring you in on the appropriate time. Now, let's get started, honey. Now, let me ask you a question. What would it take for you to get up out your seat and hit the dance floor, or make you snap your fingers and get into that groove of some feel-good, brown liquor drinking, card slapping the table, high-fiving your good girlfriend music? Well, my darlings, my guest today will say that it would take some good, strong vocals, some kick-ass tracks, and some powerful background children screaming for the gods to get you up and off your ass, to clap your hands, stomp your feet, and move your body to the rhythm of the beat, honey. Ha! Yes, indeed, specializing in taking the word where the people are and making sure that the people understand that it's all right to have a good time in the word. My guest has created a new record label that will put the heart and soul back into the music. Mr. Hairston is going to be dishing tea with Big Meach about the ins and outs of creating an entire label in a day and age where it seems like it's nearly impossible for music to be appreciated. His record company is soon to be launched, and we will be getting the exclusive on what's to come and what we can expect from it. Plus, if time permits, we got a couple of Dear Big Meach letters that I'm going to put my brand of tea on. So without any further ado, for this delicious old hot pot of tea, let me welcome. This is Mr. Hairston. Hey, baby, what's going on?
How are you?
I am, and I am going to be. What's your tea?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
How about it? Okay.
Yes,
well, my darling.
It's wonderful to talk to you. First, let me say congratulations on your 7 years.
Oh, well, thank you, baby.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. And I owe you a theme song, and I haven't forgotten. Yes.
Okay.
Because you will not put me on blast.
No. You know what? No, darling. The whole thing over there is you've been trying to create this new endeavor, and we've been talking about this, for years, that this is what you've been trying to put together, know, and now the whole thing over there is, baby, I got to tip my hat and my wig to you because you did the damn thing and doing it, and now we're preparing for this launch. So, honey, that's the ticket. So now what I want to do is to get the folks into it. So let's sit down and talk about it. Introduce yourself to the folks who don't know you, shame on them, and then explain to them the importance, and pronounce your record company, because I didn't want to say it and tear it up.
AEONSTAR.
AEONSTAR. See, I was going to say Aeon. I was going to put the A up in there.
Everybody says
AEONSTAR
because of the A. Yeah.
Because of the A. Okay, so it's AEONSTAR Records.
Yes.
So explain to us how this endeavor come to be, the name. Give us the whole background of why this is important to you.
Well, AEONSTAR Records came about because I was disappointed in the music industry and the quality of music that was being released and the message behind the music. So I wanted to create music that was uplifting and that touched your soul and took you back to a day and age where you can get your groove on, but also get spiritually filled for the people that don't go to church and don't have any faith in the church. I wanted them to get spiritually filled and be able to carry on throughout the week. My partner, I actually have a partner in my company. His name is Trevor Allen. He's actually in the queue as well. Him and I have known each other for over 20 years. We worked in bands together, and, you know, we talked about coming together to create some music, and the record label was birthed from that, from our first collaboration, God Just Made It Work, and our spirits connected, and musically we connected, and we were on the same page. And so, you know, it just was a progression of musical knowledge and experience that brought us to this point. And, you know, we wanted to express ourselves individually and make our voices be heard.
I heard that. Now, okay, Trevor, is he a 917 or a 646 number?
He's a 917.
Yeah, I kind of thought so because he's been up in here longer than you. I'm going to bring him in with us right now. Trevor, I'm going to open up your mic as well, darling, because I want you in on this. You know, as a co-collaborator and a partner of this here is everything. And I want to get your take on it as well. First off, hey, sweetie, how are you, sugar?
I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
I am, and I am going to be. Okay. So, now we just heard Paris tell his particular side, and I want to hear your voice on the whole idea of coming together to make this endeavor possible. What is your take on coming in and wanting to have this particular genre? Because you guys are introducing or redefining a genre of music. So what is that for you?
Well, basically, it's just, as Paris said, it's just kind of redefining and interpreting what we've kind of grown up on and our influences and kind of integrating it into something new and something fresh. So, I mean, we kind of came up in the same era, you know, 70s, 80s, R&B, funk, club music, as it used to be called, and just kind of putting our spin on it, you know, with a better message or a greater message, I should say. And just being able to just spread positivity through what we do and just give the world something on a positive note. You know, it's just not enough positive messages out there these days. You know, and the powers that be are kind of, you know, stagnant in terms of what is allowed to kind of get out there. So the form that we're allowed to be in is what we'll use, and that's where we'll take it, you know.
Okay, dig that. But, you know, let me do this because, you know, if we go back and look at some of the old blaxploitation movies and those of us, our parents, when they went out and carried on, the whole idea of taking the church to the streets, honey, is not brand new to us. You know, there was a time where a lot of people had taken a couple of the up-tempo gospel songs and would take them to the club, you know, and carry it on. You know, since we got that quote-unquote church sound, a lot of folks who come from that church kind of singing, you know, would take the contemporary songs and then they would sing them, you know, in a way that folks have felt like they had a church experience or whatever. But now we are here where we have a whole genre of music called gospel house. And we all come from that era where, you know, the children get their life, honey, at the club. Okay? We done been ostracized at the church. We done been beat over the head and carried on. A lot of us don't feel comfortable in the church. So to sit down there and to get a Kenny Bobian or whatever, or somebody to scream in our ear, honey, you know, and take us to that particular point, you know, was always something that was featured for the club children. You guys coming up in here to put your spin on this particular genre. What does that mean to you as trendsetters and stuff for the genre? Because the kind of stuff that I've heard over the years that you've been producing, Paris, has been, you know, a different take on it. And, you know, you got some deep house, you know, beats and carried on. You got some good club starters. You know, you have progressed and elevated to where you have all different levels of the club music. You got the party starter records to to get down and switch your paramount, kind of beats and things. And the lyrical content is always superior. So what does that mean for you to be a trendsetter in this whole genre of gospel house?
It's a blessing, and it's an honor. I think in this medium of gospel house music, I know a lot of the vocalists because I've sang background with them. I've danced for them. Every time we're in the same building, if they're performing, they're always calling me to the stage for one thing or another. I just think that it needed to move. It was getting to a point where even the vocalists felt like they weren't being heard. And so being a house head myself, I'm a person who gets on the floor and I get my life. So
right.
when I hear inspirational stuff, it always touches me. I can go with the other house music, the deep stuff, the sexy stuff, all of that, the EDM stuff. I can get down with that. But when you put on a gospel house track, Paris is going in. I'm running up the walls. I'm doing backflips. There's going to be 37 pirouettes, all of that. So I learned early that gospel house music is what reaches into my spirit, and it grabs down in my soul, and it makes me feel like the whole world is open to me and that God is speaking to me directly. So in creating this music, that's what I wanted to share. I wanted to share that God speaks to us individually, and that we can express ourselves, in a medium. There are gospel artists right now who are recording house music.
Right.
B.B. Winans has house music. The Clark sisters and B.B. Winans and the Winans brothers actually have a house track out right now. Karen Clark is getting ready to bless us with a house track called Holy. So, the kids are getting in. The people are coming in.
Okay.
Now what I want to do is take our music from the club into the church, because I'm getting ready to open the doors of the church.
Ha! Now, you know what? So you just said something there, because, I walked away from organized religion, but at the same time, I still challenge it because for that reason right there. I know what gets the kids moving,
Right.
And in order to make the connection real, you have to give them a real experience. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
One of the things that we know from gospel house music and carrying on is that you are absolutely right. For those of you who produce music, for those of you who DJ out there, y'all know when you put on gospel house music in a club, baby, the
floor is crowded.
Their mind. As a matter of fact, I'm one of those children, honey. There's certain artists that will make me come to the dance floor, and certain songs that'll make me come to the dance floor. But when it's the gospel house music section here in Atlanta, there's a DJ. He gets started, but baby, once he gets to that 1 o'clock, 1:15 hour of time, baby, from 1:15 to 2 o'clock, you understand it's straight gospel house. Okay, and the kids will sit there, get their life, honey. Some of them will go into the spirit and carrying on, because it becomes just that, an experience. It becomes, wow, whatever my connection is to God, God is speaking to me right here, right now. And if tradition says in everything, give thanks and give praise, let everything that has breath praise ye the Lord, and I could do it right here with my cocktail in my hand, you better understand. Okay, we finna do just that. Okay, so in understanding that, coming from a church background, and now you want to sit down here and flip it. What you say, I'm going to take the music to the church because we're going to open up the doors of the church. What do you see this as a problem? Do you see this as a challenge? Do you see this as the next progression, or what? Because as you just said, we got the traditional gospel children who know how to make their money. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. They know how to make their money because they done took that track and then made it into a house tune or whatever. Miss Donnie McClurkin, We Fall Down. Let me tell you something. that motherfucking house tune is everything for me. Okay? When he housed that up, and I know he did it, I know he redid it because he got brand new vocals on it. When I said, I said, he re-recorded this. Oh, no, he got new vocals on this. So, in understanding that, how did you see this as that particular challenge? Because the traditional children are going in that direction. When Shirley Caesar sat up there and was rapping Tonay, I said, oh, honey, gospel done went a whole new direction. So what is that for you?
Well, what it is for me is I don't see it as a problem because I don't see problems. I see challenges.
Got it.
I see I don't see problems. So my thing with that is that they, the church, the staunch older, church folk, they always want to say, that they're not open to change. But you have churches that are having the young people do hip hop dances from the street in the church as praise.
Right. As praise dancing.
So,
right.
As praise dancing. So they're doing Janet Jackson numbers, i.e. Tonay. They're doing Janet Jackson numbers in the church.
Right.
They're flipping that. So my thing with all of that is that why can't we bring house music, because these kids sing for the blood. Because they come from church. Right. So they're singing for the blood already. It's just a faster beat. And now, as you said, there are remixes. Ann Nesby did her album, and she had Ricky Dillard do her background. Right. Sounds of Blackness came, and they tore the town up. They did a remix of Mary Mary Shackles. I just found a remix of Ricky Dillard, of a Ricky Dillard song that takes me to the moon. The Anointed Pay Sisters have a house remix. What's her name? Sissy Houston and the Sweet Inspirations. They have the house.
You better come on.
And all of this is gospel house. You have Kenny Bobby, and you have Daryl Debino, you have Michelle Weeks, you have Dawn Tallman, you have Barbara Tucker. These are all friends of mine that are phenomenal. You have Susu Bobian. I have a dear friend of mine who's my mentor, Dewey Chofi, and his partner, B.J. Nelson, who is a world-renowned background singer for the world, vocalist, writer, producers. These people are bringing Gospel House to a whole new level, and I'm just trying to get in the number. And my thing is, I have some connections. I don't like to brag about them, but I have connections. I want to take what we're doing, what Trevor and I have created with the artists that we're working with, and bust the church doors down. Because we know the same people we see in church are in the club dancing next to me.
Are in the clubs. Hello.
Don't get me started.
Darling. Don't do it. Because I remember back in the day, there was I'm from Detroit, so, y'all bear with me for half a second. Because I had gone out to the club Saturday night, me and all my children, and my children's, at the time, my children had little husbands and things. So I'm like, okay. And Daryl decided that he wanted us to go to church with him. Now, mind you, I am out in canary yellow. I had on my canary yellow pants with my canary yellow and red flowered shirt, Hawaiian shirt, and things. I was like, honey, I can't go to church looking like this, and this, that, and the other. But they said, no, you going to church. I said, okay, we'll put this in the washing machine so it'll be fresh and don't smell like liquor and alcohol. Got up. We went to St. James. You understand? At St. James at that time was Reverend Charles Nix. And it was known, honey, for its wonderful choir and carried on. And, honey, when I walked up in there, I said, bitch, I just left y'all at the club. We just left the club at 3 o'clock this morning. And I felt right into place, So that particular worry that I had of not presenting myself and this, that, and other in a good light had diminished because, like you said, we done just left all these girls at the club, However, here is the thing. And Trevor, I want you to come in on this because one of the things that we do know is that the whole idea of music and gospel and carrying on is all about, now we see it being lucrative. Gospel music has become a huge staple in the revenue department of the music industry. A lot of things that we're seeing now, you know, at one point in time, gospel artists had to fight to get paid and this, that, and the other, because it was all about, well, you do this for the Lord and the Lord will bless. Well, now, honey, it done became big show, big production, and as we said, a lot of the traditional children know how to make their coin because they done did remixes. They've taken it to the club so that the folks can go and dance and this, that, and the other. As you are coming into this, taking that across the board, looking at it from both the message and looking at it from a business aspect or whatever, are there any misconceptions or anything that may have you bring about a pause or whatever to say, oh, you know what, I don't know if I want to take this route. I don't know if this is the right way because it may be perceived wrong?
To me, it's like it kind of started, say, for example, Ray Charles and what he did.
You better go right there, baby. Come on.
You know, he totally came from the church and expressed what would be considered a worldly view over a church beat. You know what I mean?
Right.
So in a sense, this is almost like the natural evolution of things, where it's kind of coming full circle.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, for me, historically, in that sense, it's really just kind of coming full circle, and it's almost like it was bound to happen. So just to kind of see the wave and be a part of that wave is, you know, that's kind of history right now. You know.
Mhm.
So.
Okay. Listen, I see we got hands up everywhere, honey. And I want to take a few of these calls. Now, you children, I'm going to come and let you ask your questions. I'm going to go here first. 646-259. 646-259. When we click. Okay, there we go. Honey, you're dishing tea with Big Meach and say hello to Paris and Trevor of AEONSTAR Records. Yes. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yep.
Hello, can you hear me?
646-259. I got you, baby. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? I just want to tell you, Paris, Trevor, I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to hear. I've heard some of your music, and it's just amazing, and I can't wait to hear some of the new stuff to come out. And I'm just proud of you, and I wish you all the best. And God bless you both.
Thank you very much.
All right, lovely. Well, thank you for calling in and giving well wishes and support, darling. That there is everything, because in order for this thing to work, you have to have the support system, honey.
That's right. Thank you. They're amazing. So,
totally. Okay. So parents and Trevor, let me ask you guys. You know, talking about the support system and carrying on, and having the background of having friends already in the industry. You know, a lot of times, Stephanie Mills had told me this a while back, you know, because I asked her, I said, well, girl, you know, everybody's in between record contracts or whatever. How come y'all just can't band together? You know, you working on an independent project, they out of work. You know, why don't y'all come together? Y'all supposedly friends, right? And she told me, she said, honey, she said sometimes the children are too expensive, and other times folks just don't want to work. They don't want to support it or whatever because of the machine. So with your support system, how are you guys seeing it working for you in order to do this particular launch? This is a complete launch of a new label.
Well, it's interesting. With a question,
right.
It's interesting with two question marks. You know, you have those, and I've been having that conversation all day for the last 2 days, actually. You know, you have those people who look in your face and say, you know, I'm proud of you, I support you, congratulations, whatever you need from me, I'm here for you. And then when you reach out to them, there's cricket. You know, you hear cricket. Right. And then you have those people who are 100% in your corner, as, you know, i.e. Allison Williams, Mike Davis, you know, and all the other artists that are under our moniker. You know, so you just take it with a grain of salt. Like, my philosophy is this. I see people for who they are. and I'll ask you a couple of times if you're an artist and you inspire me and I want to work with you. I'll ask you a couple of times. If you don't, respond in kind and you don't make an effort to connect with me, then I understand. Your schedule may be too busy. You may really not be interested. I take all of that into consideration, and then I keep moving on.
Right.
And then the dream becomes exactly that. It becomes a dream. And it stays exactly where it is. So I will no longer, break my neck to reach out to you to do any work with you. If it happens organically and God makes it happen, then I'm fine with that. There's no malice, there's no anger. I'm not disappointed. It just didn't happen at that time.
Exactly.
But I'm very conscious of the people that are there to support, and people don't understand. Little things add up to big things.
Exactly.
So I pay attention to people's actions, and your actions speak louder than your words. So if if you're there for me, you're there for me. If you're not there for me, hey, God bless you, and I wish you well in your endeavors because I'm moving on. This train is moving.
How about that?
And me and Trevor and I talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time. Like, once this train really gets to full speed, you're gonna have to catch us.
Okay.
So get catch. You better get in the doors before we pull out the station, because once we leave, I'm not coming back to pick you up.
How about it? Okay.
Okay.
So
that's my philosophy.
Trevor, you got something to add?
Oh, I mean, I'm in full agreement with what Paris is saying. It's like it's about building something. It's easy to get on the party train when it's like on and moving, but when it's building and just understanding that what anything starts with a wing and a prayer, and to know that it can go places, it will go places, and to know that, it's easier to get on that than it is to kind of help and build. People aren't of a mind of building these days and coming from a collective. It's just a different mindset. So, just kind of dealing with that in terms of today and society and where we're at. Yeah, it's a lot, but, you move on. You do what you do.
Exactly. Okay, let's go here. 718-216. Maybe you're dishing tea with Big Meach, and say hello to Paris and Trevor.
Hey, hello.
Hey, baby, I got you. Go ahead. Yep, hello. Hey, we got you.
It's Chip Landry. I just want to say congratulations to Paris and Trevor. I just love you guys so much. I've worked with you guys a couple of times, and I love what you're doing with house music and with gospel music and bringing them together. And you're not the first to do it necessarily, but you're doing it on a whole new level. And I just want to say how proud I am of both of you.
Thank you, Chip.
Thank you very much.
All right. Feel more support. Okay, I live for it, honey. Thank you, baby. We appreciate that gratefully. Okay, so now let's go here. Because in dealing with coming together and launching a project as large as this, because now we're talking about labels, a whole record label, how has this stood the test of time in your personal life? For those of you who have relationships, husbands, wives, or whatever, how has this been a challenge in your personal? Have everything been able to you've been able to take the hits and the bruises and still be able to maintain, or is it fortunate to say, okay, my personal life is the label, honey, and I'm married to this, and for those who don't understand, well, okay, I get it.
Well, if I may say, I think it's about a balance. Number one, if you're in some type of relationship, I think it's about knowing, or the person knowing, the quote-unquote baggage you come with, and kind of accepting the whole kit and caboodle to be able to say, yes, I can ride with this, or, we can be friends, So It all depends on how you present it at the table. You know, it's just knowing that. Me personally, music has meant so much to me throughout my life, and in terms of just getting through certain things, or achieving certain endeavors, it's just always been there in some way, shape, or form. So it's really a part of me. So anyone who's with me or, you know, wants to be with me, it's kind of understood. It's a given, you know.
Right. Okay. Right. Dig it.
Now, I think, you know, I think it's about inclusion. You know, as long as you have that person and you're inclusive and you allow them, you know, to be in the know, not so much as be in the business, but be in the know of what you're doing. You know, because everybody's not able to be in the know and be in the business. You know, so I think if you keep them in the know of it, you know, and encourage them to support you in that manner, and you lean on them and you have conversations. Those conversations may not translate into your business, but at least you've made that partner or that family member feel like they've contributed something.
Right. Okay. Dig that. Okay. Keep them in the know, not necessarily in the business. That's a Facebook quote right there. Yeah. That's a Facebook quote right there, honey. Okay. Now, let's go here, because in putting together a label, you know, now for those who are friends, those who are good associates, those who are whatever, okay, that may see you in, those who see you in passing, you know, now they know that you got a label, honey. Everybody who think they can sing or think they want to do this, want to come and how can I get on your label? How can I get you a mixtape? How can I? How are you guys going to handle that? And how do you choose your artists to be a part of AEONSTAR Records?
Well, let me answer, Trevor, because I want to answer first. Because and I have to answer in this manner because Trevor, I love my partner. Like, Trevor is my brother. That's my big brother. I love him to death because Trevor is so patient with me. Because I will bring in the stray dog if they say they can sing.
Okay.
You know, I'll put them on the spot and be like, okay, I got a studio session today. Come on in and let's see what you can do. We've had some experiences in the studio. You know, we've had some interesting experiences. So, you know, and this is new, you know. So I've had people show up to shows and hand me CDs and be like, Paris, you know, if you can, you know, can you use me? Or, you know, I want to get back into singing. I ain't been singing in 35 years, but I want to get back into it. And I, you know, and I think you're the person to do it, you know, and I just let God lead me. Like, if you come in the studio, and what I love about my partner is that we're adaptable. So him and I don't even have to have a conversation, you know, but we're thinking, we're communicating.
Right.
You know, so we may not be verbally talking, but we don't even have to look at each other. But I know from his body language, he knows from my body language whether this is going to work or it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. You know, and then we figure it out from there. And then sometimes, you know, people, you know, when you're dealing with different individuals, you're getting different energies, you're getting different spirits, you're getting different attitudes. So you have to make the adjustment. So now, you know, I am getting a lot of, you know, I want to get down, you know, I've been doing this and you know, I want to get on your label. And I just take it a day at a time, you know, and if they're patient with me, I'm patient with them because, as I tell people, right now we have a list. I have a dream list of people that I want to record. So, and I'm working it out. And God is putting those people right in front of me and opening their eyes and saying, Paris is standing right here. So you better go with this. So I've been blessed in that opportunity to work with these people. So I just tell people, listen, be patient because we're going to get to you but in the interim, this is what I need you to do.
Right. Right.
And of course, I have my partner to lean on. There are times we look at each other and go, okay, this ain't gonna work. And people think because you're one way in your everyday, that in the studio you're going to be the same person. And what I've realized is that people are now calling me a monster in the studio because they tell me I'm a monster producer. I don't necessarily believe that, but, they're like, yo, you're hard to work with. And I'm like, that's interesting. You know what? I'm a perfectionist.
Wow.
I'm a perfectionist.
Here's the thing, because I've gotten down on a few occasions with myself as an actor, because as an actor I'm one way, but when I'm directing and it's time to shape this girl, I'm a teaching director. I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna give you your space to be creative, but after we done went through this, you're gonna give me my work. Give me my work,
exactly.
Because if you don't give me my work, goddammit, then you're gonna hear my mouth and I cuss, I fuss, and I would. I'm not as bad as Manny Mouse Clark can throw things, but I will get up. No, you're gonna give me my motherfucking work. What did I say?
I haven't gotten to the point of throwing things. But I will remove a vocalist from a track. My partner will tell you, I'm famous for making an executive decision and going, okay, I don't want that person on this track no more. We're going to switch it out. But in the process of me doing that, I've already come to the conclusion of who's going to be the replacement. There's no hemming and hawing about who's going to replace. I'll discuss it with my partner, but we make suggestions with each other. But if you cross me, I will replace you in a heartbeat, and I don't think nothing of it. Because the whole idea is that if you're doing this in the studio with me now, imagine what happens when we get on the road.
On the road, hello.
So if you're a monster now,
baby.
Yeah, if you're a monster at the beginning of this project. In the middle of it, you're going to be the person that's talking about, oh, well, I need 30,000 gallons of milk to take a milk bath, and I need honey shampoo. That's all I use from, Givenchy. Sit down.
If you don't stop, we ain't gonna talk about these damn riders. Don't work me on the rider. Do not work me on the rider. So I have seen and heard some of ridiculous things on riders. That's crazy. Crazy, but let me say this, because I'm not putting you on blast. I'm using this to support your point, because when Paris and I had first met face to face, finally, we met here at Atlanta's airport, and I just happened to have been coming through there, and he called my name. I was like, hello, and then I said, oh, child, and then it happened to be his birthday at the same time.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, that's right. And so he said, and I sang. He said, well, say, no, he'd say, sing happy birthday. I said, child, you don't tell nobody to sing happy birthday. He said, no, sing it. And so when I sang, that's when he said, oh, you could do your own track. I said, excuse me. He said, no, you talking about you want somebody else to do your the track for the jingle. No, you could do it yourself. We don't get you in the studio. So as far as him, taking up strays or whatever. Yeah, he did that to me at the airport, honey, in front of everybody.
Absolutely.
Okay, sing it.
Absolutely.
He sure did.
I understand. Absolutely. But here's the blessing, Meach. Here's the blessing. Me and you had already talked on the phone, so I knew you could sing.
My
thing was in the airport, first of all, and anybody who knows me will tell you, I celebrate my birthday for a month. So to see you on my birthday, that was a blessing. To see you on my birthday was a blessing. And because I knew you could sing, all of my singer friends, that's what we do to each other. So for me, that was, you either going to show up and show out, or you going to leave.
Okay.
And then I know where you are because, I had already had it in my mind that I wanted to record you.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it was
cute. Okay, I'm sitting over here. I'm cheesing, and I'm blushing at the same time. So, child. Okay, I just stood up. I got my posture right.
For me, it was already in in the works. So to challenge you to sing in a public arena like the middle of the Atlanta airport, I was like, okay, he's either going to do this, and then I know who I'm dealing with, because over the phone you're bigger than life, and people don't realize that talking to you over the phone, your personality is bigger than life, but in person, you are amazing.
Oh, well, thank you, baby. Okay.
Yeah, so to see, to have that in the airport, that I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn him on right now. Sing it.
He sure did. Right there. Okay. And I was trying to be cute because I didn't want to get too loud, but at the same time, y'all are singers, so you understand when it hits you, it hits you.
Right. Like let me belt it up.
Right. Let me go here because this. I want to make sure I get you a 347-283. 347-283. Come on in here and talk to me, baby. How you doing? Say hello to Trevor and
Carlos and Trevor. I love you guys. This is the boy shouting out in New York, baby. hey, the boy, what's going on?
Oh, I'm a little under the weather, but I had to sit in and listen to you and Trevor. I am just. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm about to cry. I am just ecstatic that you have actually gotten to the point that God has led you, because that is a blessing. And to hear that our brothers and people from, how when we came out, are doing things that's awesome, it's a blessing to hear that. In Paris, I love you. I will see you at your party that's coming up soon with the record label. And I'm going to bring my mother. So I just want to give you all the love and support, you and Trevor, and it's a blessing to hear that somebody's actually doing it the way it's supposed to be done.
Well,
all right,
I appreciate that, and I can't wait to get you in the studio because you're the singing about. Don't let that boy get on his phone, Big Meach, and be crying and boo-hooing, because that boy can open his mouth.
No, you know what? I already heard this heifer. She finna go to give me church girl choir. Okay, she gonna give me one of those, right?
Yeah, because he can growl like somebody else. And just so you know, me and the boy have known each other since we were teenagers.
Oh my God!
Oh wow!
Years,
Okay.
Years,
okay.
Yes, years. This goes back to where Midtown 43, Better Days, the Pier, all of that when we was but a knee high hanging out.
Okay.
But yes, I've got to go past. I've got to get back to work. But I love you.
Thank you for calling.
And I will definitely. And I'll see you soon.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, baby.
Bye,
and I love your energy. Bye, baby. Don't you
have a good one, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it. Now, you know what? Let's talk about that because we're getting ready for this launch on May 13th. Honey, give us the lowdown. What are we expecting? I already know this is going to be one of those moments to where, when it happens, we're anticipating the day. It's like, okay, I know what's coming up. Yeah, we're getting ready for the launch. But May 13th is actually going to be like the day. That is the day. And it's like, okay, this is absolutely for real. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, nothing to say this is no longer a dream. This is now the vision. This is now the reality. So tell us about May 13th.
May 13th is our launch party in Brooklyn at Kalahari Art Gallery. Being that we're working musicians, and this is what we do, Trevor is an accomplished bass player, musician, songwriter, producer. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer. What we're doing is that we're introducing our music to the world, and so we're doing the launch party. There's going to be listening. We're going to be playing original stuff. We have DJ Jay Hunter and DJ Q who are going to be on the deck, killing the room, giving you gospel house and having the kids run and do backflips. We have R&B legend Allison Williams, who has recorded with us and who's doing house music with us. We have Fern Guilford, who did a duet with house music legend Anaya Day. She's recording with us. We have Kim Summerson, who was with Dr. Dre's label. She's recording with us. We have Chip Landry, who called in. We have Keisha Groover. We have Mitch Matlock, who has done several house tracks and was a background singer for Barbara Tucker, along with myself. We've created the new Sounds of Blackness, so that's our little secret weapon, because we're getting ready to hit y'all with that. So we have a lot of stuff. It's going to be a combination of stuff. They're going to sing to track, but we're going to slide them into a live band situation. For the singers in the house, it's going to be a pass the mic session. There's going to be food and drink. Yeah, because I'm challenging the singers to come out. Because the singers that we have in our roster, they can't mess with them. Phyllis Thurston, Donnell Cross, those kids are coming to blow your mind. Denon Brooks, they're coming to slay you. So, there's going to be a pass the mic session that introduces all of our artists, and then we're going to open that up to the other artists in the room and see if they stand up. Yes, you got it.
Wait a minute. Baby, either you going to bring it or keep your black ass at home, honey.
Exactly.
Oh. See, you know what? That just gave me chills. And I'm intrigued, honey. I was like, damn, I need to be there for this. Oh. See, I need to, damn.
Live broadcast.
That's hot.
And that would be great. A live broadcast with Big Meach.
That is, y'all know I'm a fool for a good vocalist. I say Patti LaBelle is my mama and Stephanie Mills is my big sister, my little big sister. Okay, so I deal with heavyweights, child. So, somebody who can sit down here and can move me and can get into my shoulders and just make me lose my mind, baby, that's everything.
Well, we got the singers. We have a new release coming out on May 20th that we collaborated with called Free with China Doll, myself, and Pepe Citarella. Trevor and I produced the vocals and the melody and did the vocal arrangements. That's coming out on May 20th on Quantize Records. So, yeah, we're coming to hurt you. We're coming to lift your spirits. We're coming to make you sit down, and think about a couple of things. And thank God for being alive.
I heard that. Now, let me go here because I'm getting excited about it. This question here may seem a little that way, but I know all of us are in the same age bracket, and oftentimes, folks in our age bracket, we're told that we waited too late. This business is only for the young children and carrying on. In times of when we were kids and looking to get into it, but it wasn't necessarily the right timing for us to do what we wanted to do or whatever. How does it feel now to say that this is absolutely an accomplishment now? You know what I'm saying? That I'm actually here. Because oftentimes when folks didn't see the vision and didn't want to express the dream, or, you hear all your naysayers and your haters that really want to shut it down, to get here, what is that for you? And you, Trevor, what is that for you?
I like to think that it's just what we were doing all along. It's just like there's this thing about being under the radar, over the radar, in the spotlight. It's all relative. I just think that this has been a daily operation for both of us, in terms of our paths and our destinies. So it's almost like really the culmination of what we've been doing all along. It's almost like it's like we were doing it all along. It's like I always thought Paris was dope, and to me it's like now the world is going to see it. You know what I mean? So it's like nothing's changed in terms of what we're doing. It's been a constant in terms of just working, doing gigs, writing songs. It's just that now there's a new light on it. So it's all good,
Okay. Okay, now let me ask the one question that, I'm going to try to ask it differently because I can't stand when I see folks that, what do you tell up-and-coming artists? I don't like that necessarily that question. However, here I'm going to word it like this. Because someone who wants to get into it but doesn't necessarily know how, doesn't know how to pull the resources, doesn't know how to find good producers or good people who make tracks. For instance, I'm a lyricist, and I got songs, but hell, I don't know what to do to get it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go into the studio, but it's like, okay, where do I go from here? How do I make this happen? And I got 2 house songs that I have that I wrote along with and these songs are like 23 years old. I wrote them when I lived in New York. So, it's like, what do we do now? I used to work with a producer. His name was Wilson Yepes, out of Queens when I first lived there. And we started something and nothing happened with it or whatever. In fact, I even lost contact with him. So how does one, what would you say for somebody who's at that spot? Okay, this is where you are. How do I get here? What are the steps or what should I look for? What would you advise?
I'll tell you what my philosophy is because I lived it. Be bold. If you hear a producer that you like, or you happen to meet a producer or run into someone who's into production, or they're aspiring to get into production, I say be bold and offer your services. Reach out to them, send them an email and say, listen, I'm a singer-songwriter. This is what I do. My first release was because I reached out, I went on Craigslist, and they were posting up requests for lyricists and vocalists. And I happened to reach out to a producer who happened to have worked with my husband. And so I reached out to him and was like, my name is blah, blah, blah. He was like, I know exactly who you are. I know who you're connected with. Let's see what we can do.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cute.
Yeah. So I say be bold. Reach out to whomever it is that you are interested in, whatever arena that you want to go in, and reach out to those people in that area and offer your services and say, look, this is what I do, this is what I want to do, and I hope we can work together. It may not happen immediately, but what happens is that they will think back. They will put you in the back of their mind. And, God willing, actually, it's not even God willing. It's you being proactive in your life. Once you begin to do that, God is going to open that door, and he's going to make sure that person remembers you, and they will reach back and come back to you and go, yo, you said that you do blah, blah, blah. Well, come on. Let me see what you got. And they're either going to like it or they're not going to like it. But in the process, if you continue to do that around the board, somebody's gonna like what you do. I just happen to be blessed. I just happen to be blessed, and Trevor and I spoke of working together 10 years ago, and over 10 years ago, and then we finally came together, and it just worked out.
Okay.
I think it's also so important just to have that initial connection in spirit in terms of where you want to be in the environment you want to be around. It's just so important in terms of the creative process and just developing and growing, because you're going to grow together. You've already kind of come to a place, as individuals, but to come together, it just kind of creates another thing. So just being in harmony on the spiritual level is just so important moving forward, at least for me, in Paris,
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, dig that.
Yeah, we're true artists.
Yeah.
Trevor lets me run around crazy and do crazy stuff, and when I get out of pocket, he'd be like, okay, hold on, bring it back.
Right.
Like the same way you hear him speaking now, the same calm manner, he's the same person all across the board, And so I'm the one that's running around and jumping up and doing stuff, and he'll be like, okay, Paris, let's scale back.
Okay.
And so, he's my conscience. So I have to be like, oh, okay. So we work very well together.
Definitely. Oh, that's cute. That there is cute. Now, I'm hoping this track will play. I got to play this Useful Love, honey, so that the folks could get more of a feel of what it is y'all do.
Yeah, that's Allison Williams.
Yes, I know, honey. My sister, she's a friend of the show.
Yes.
See there, she said, you are what? Useless. Ah, okay, I live. You are useless. Woo! Now you know what? I hear a remix on this coming. I hear the remix on this coming. Because that tagline is everything. You are. Ow. Okay, I'm in my head. All right, you know what? I'm getting ready to let you guys go back to your day. But before we do, I want you guys to tell us about May 13th one more time, and then give everybody all of your social media outlets where they can find you, how they can like the music, where the music is going to be found, all of that. Let's talk. Dish T, darling. You there?
I'm there. Yeah. Well, it will be next Friday, the official launching of AEONSTAR Records. Friday, May 13th at Kalahari, which is on Fulton Street in Brooklyn, New York. And also you can check AEONSTAR, spelled AEONSTAR, on Facebook, and you'll see the flyer there as well.
All right.
So just definitely come out, bring a positive energy, and just come and show love and support, and it's gonna be awesome.
Well, this sounds like this is gonna be awesome. I am sitting up here. It's in my shoulders, baby. It's in my shoulders. And see, Allison gonna be there. Allison's the friend of the show. She's been on. And we've talked about, her getting back into the studio and things. And she said she was working on some stuff, and she wouldn't say what. She said, honey, I got to keep it under wraps right now. But when I come back, baby, when we come back, it's going to be real big. And I'm like, okay. And here she told you, useless, honey. You're useless love. I love this. Okay. You are useless.
Definitely.
Oh, that's in my crawl. That's in my
Sometimes
crawl,
you got to
honey.
call it. Sometimes you got to call it like it is,
Okay, that is all in my crawl, honey. Well, okay. I'm going to let you guys get back to your day and all of that. So I want to say thank you for coming on and sharing your vision with us. AEONSTAR Records, honey, is launching May 13th. And, my darlings, okay, now, if you come out there and want to get cute, okay, I think you can hang with the big dogs. How they going to do a pass the mic kind of thing. Let me see what you got. You got some chops, sugar? If you got some chops, baby, okay, you come
show
bring
and prove. That's all it is.
Show and prove. I want to see who my baritone basses are going to be, because, we're the underserved children of the community. And thank you to Will Downing and, let's see, Christopher Williams, and there's a handful of other children, honey, who keep that on lock for us, but it's not many of us out there. So I want to see what children are going to come on through, because we knew you screaming tenors are coming, honey. You screaming tenors and altos and things.
Well, we got a few basses in the situation.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for, my baritone basses. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, because, see, one of the things about, this is one of the secrets about house music, and that's always the bass line. And if you got somebody who could sing that damn bass line, baby. Okay, don't work me.
Yeah. That's the foundation.
But, okay. So, guys, thank you guys for coming on. And, child, let's make this happen, honey. Let's make this happen. Yeah?
Absolutely. Definitely.
All right. And, parents, we will be talking soon. Because, yes, I'm taking you up on that. Yeah, we're going to talk soon and make this, honey, yeah, I got to get into the studio. That's my Christmas gift to myself, honey. Yes.
Right. Well, you come on to New York and we'll record you real quick.
Love. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, sounds like a plan. We'll talk.
All right. Okay.
All right, baby. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. Anytime, honey, anytime. But when these records drop, honey, anytime y'all got to drop a new single, you bring it here. It's right here. Okay.
Will do.
Okay.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, honey, this is fabulous. AEONSTAR Records, honey, is launching on May 13th, honey. And this is a whole new approach to the gospel music genre. and just to bring back some real music and to do the thing the proper way, honey. And then and here's the thing, you know, I'm saying proper, but proper becomes subjective now. A lot of us have a vision of what we know it to be, and so what we're going to do is, from my feel of it, is that it's going to introduce you to a sound that we may have gotten away from. Okay. And I know these children here are going to take you to a time of yesteryear. So that's going to be love. So what I'm going to do here, let me take a commercial break. When we come back, I got a dear Big Meach letter that I have to address. And we're going to go from there. So let me take this brief little intermission, and I'll be right back, okay?
PharaohsTreasureBox.com, a quality online Detroit mobile business. Custom, affordable, high-quality, handcrafted art, jewelry, gifts, and accents for you, your event, home, office, or business. Contact Peter Jackson, Artistic Director, at 248-688-5178. 248-688-5178. PharaohsTreasureBox.com, embracing a fusion of cultures and making art beautifully affordable.
Trigg Laboratories manufactures premium sexual wellness and consumer health care products and is the parent company of Wet International Incorporated, one of the world's best-selling lines of personal lubricants and intimacy products. We carry a large variety of personal and flavored lubricants, flavored heating massage lotions, and aromatherapy heating massage oils. Whether you need a little or a lot, Wet has you covered. Our line of high-quality, innovative, and unique products are formulated using only the finest ingredients at our FDA-approved facility, meeting the strictest manufacturing standards. Wet is available worldwide at specialty stores and online retailers and at pharmacies nationwide. For more information or to find a retailer near you, log on to www.stayswetlonger.com. Trigg Laboratories. We create fun, quality, trusted products to innovate your intimacy.
Double Exposure Media Relations is a full-service public relations, marketing, and artist development firm specializing in urban culture and lifestyle. Spearheaded by the Henry Hingers of hip-hop, Mr. Angelo Ellaby, Double Exposure serves to educate its clients about the dollars and cents of the music industry. For more information about Double Exposure Media Relations, call 201-224-6510. 201-224-6510. Double Exposure Media Relations.
Okay, darlings, we are back. And, yes, I'm sitting up here having a wonderful, wonderful time with listening to the music of AEONSTAR Records, with Hairston and Trevor. I'm sorry, I forgot Trevor's last name. I'll play it back and get my notes. But Paris and Trevor are the creators of the label and wanted to come on out and do their thing, honey. So I'm very excited. In fact, I'm tingling. I'm tingling, darling. Yes, I'm pickling. I'm over here pickling in my juices now because this is going to be fantastic, okay, and beyond. But let me do this because I told you if we come up on this, I was going to do a couple of Dear Big Meach letters. And this one here in particular is one that I have to address because I think it speaks to, it's something that speaks to a lot of different people. So, Dear Big Meach, I am one of the more masculine members of the LGBT community. I don't subscribe to any label because I'm multifaceted. I'm one of and I'm not as clean cut as the label suggests one should be. I am a man. I like being a man. I don't like any of these 65 things, and that there is that. You know, I get criticized a lot for it, but, you know, in my world, a man is supposed to be a man. I don't like anything that is feminine, because if I wanted a woman, I could be with a woman easily, as according to the community standards, I would be considered bi. But again, I don't subscribe to any label because I'm multifaceted and I'm not as clean cut as the label suggests. But here is my question that just gets up under my skin. Why is it that you femme queens of the community, and I don't mean you as I'm talking directly to you, you femme queens of the community seem to be so emotional? You always want to explain something. You always want folks to talk. You always want folks to do this. And how come you just can't let a man be a man? How come you just can't sit down there and understand, hell, you a man yourself. Why can't you understand when a man just wants to be left alone, when a man don't want to talk, when a man don't have to sit down there and express his emotions? Why is it that the more feminine side of the community do not understand that? Because, again, if I wanted a woman, I could go get a woman. I don't want to sit down here and be with some bitch nigga, you know, in the effort of saying that I'm in a relationship. That just does not do me. So, is there an answer to that question? Thank you. Signed, thank you. Signed, thank you. Whew, okay, now that's a doozy. There is a doozy. But again, you know, when I saw this, I said, I have to address this. Okay? Well, one of the things that I personally have to say about this, because I just had this conversation not too long ago with folks, and that is oftentimes the more feminine sector of the LGBT community, and I'm talking as far as gay men are concerned, we are a little bit more in touch with our emotions and carrying on. It's not that that's to a detriment. It's just that we are the ones who have been the back of the culture. Oftentimes, you know, we're the ones that have been ostracized the most. We're the ones who have been criticized and this, that, and the other because we didn't fit into those blocks of what masculinity was supposed to have been. We have been forced to have to do this and forced to have to do that. And in many ways, in us wanting to claim our freedom and claim this, that, and the other, we have saw fit to want to explain. You know, we come from an era to where we had to explain. And talking for me personally, you know, it was always, why you got to be like that? How come you can't walk like everybody else? A man don't walk like that. Why you got to carry your book like this? You know, and this, that, and the other. And I've always come from, I've came from a place where I've always had to explain myself. So, taking on the idea of becoming an open book, you know, because I have nothing to hide. And see, that's the whole thing about those who are closeted versus those who are personal and those are this, that, and the other. There's nothing to hide, you know. So when I come and want to explain this and explain that there is me making a connection, me wanting to make sure that everything is okay, me wanting to make sure that, you know, we're having some forms of conversation that doesn't get boggled down. Oftentimes, masculine or masculinity seems to want to try to hide and to curtail itself. And it's one thing of being private. It's another thing to sit down there and have to hide everything. And oftentimes, I think neither one of us has found a happy medium. You know, those of us who are very out and open or whatever, I think we are on the far right of that. Because I think oftentimes, I know me personally, we can get caught up in telling too much. Those of you who don't like to talk, you're also far on the left to where you think everything that comes out your mouth is going to be used against you. or feel as though it's going to be problematic. Or the one I hear all the time, you always want to throw something back up in my face. It's not throwing it up in your face if we're having a conversation and I say, oh, I remember this and I remember that. That's not throwing it up in your face and using it against you. What it is calling you on your shit, you know. And here's the thing that men don't like. Men do not like to sit down and, you know, have their issues addressed, and especially not in a public forum, and especially when you think that, okay, I've done this and I'm a grown-ass man and, you know, it is what it is and it's supposed to be over. Oftentimes that's where the disconnect comes in, because if it's not over with me because it's like something is not making sense, you know, and I'm looking for it to make sense to me, then it's not over. Now, oftentimes I get criticized for being too emotional or too feminine or woman-like about that, because it's like, okay, you digging too deep. You always digging for shit. You always try to sit down there. If I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. You can't make me. Yeah, you're right. I can't make you talk. But one thing that I know for me in my life is that information will come to me. You know, now it may not come to me right away, but information will come. And then when I have the aha moment, but that's what this was. That I'm one who gets criticized of being, I'm holding on to something, or I should have let that go, or damn, you know, that's so old. Why are you still sitting up and talking about that? Or damn, you know, brought up something I forgot about. Well, okay, yeah, you forgot about it, but now, hell, I did too up until this moment. You know, I wasn't one who was sitting up here pushing this in your face and nagging you about it, because I saw that nagging didn't do. And nagging didn't sit down there what I wanted to answer that I thought we were going to talk about it in at the time that it happened. It didn't do me because you didn't want to talk about it. So that whole thing there, I think oftentimes, too, that a lot of us who are emotional and like to talk feel as though because we're open that everybody else should be just as open as we are. And, yes, that's a fantasy. We all know that that's not necessarily going to happen. In a perfect world, it would, but we do know that it doesn't happen that way. At the same time of it not happening that way, a lot of us feel as though because that's part of our closeness, a part of that connection of you coming to our inner circles or coming and being a part of us or being our husbands or boyfriends or significant others or whatever the case may be, that there was part of the connection. And it has more to do with us just fucking, you know, because oftentimes you think the connection is there and as a part of it, but not all of it. So when I want to be into your world, when I want to make sure that we're okay, because my insecurities may fester because I feel as though a disconnect is there because you're not open with me, or I feel as though you put up a wall and you don't want nobody infiltrating this or whatever. Then I was like, okay, where do we stand? Because I thought you trusted me with this kind of stuff, especially when we were talking like this before, and then all of a sudden now you feel as though you have to put up a wall for protection. What are you protecting yourself from? What did I do to cause you to feel now you got to be guarded from me? And then when I ask you, you won't tell me. See, and that's so you punish me and then won't tell me why I'm being punished or how can we correct the situation. And that there becomes unfair. And so, again, both sides, the masculine, uber masculine and the masculine side of the LGBT community, as far as men are concerned, and the less masculine to the femme side of the LGBT community as far as the men are concerned. Yes, we all got to learn how to come to that happy medium and find out the best way to communicate with one another without letting the boundaries become a weapon. Because oftentimes, I have found, and particularly in my own personal experiences, that boundaries, as we set them, become personal weapons. You know, you clam up and carry on because you don't want to talk and feel as though that's the best way to get off me. When I'm one saying, if you don't want to talk about it, just tell me you don't want to talk about it. I shouldn't have to wait for context clues or for you to sit down there and to keep ignoring me. Because if you ignore me, that's going to be a fucking problem. because I would rather you say, let's not talk about that, or I don't want to talk about that, and don't ask me anymore, And, yes, that could be harsh because sometimes I know in my circles it's done in a hateful-ass way at times. But at the same time, I would rather have that than for you to ignore me or to give me half-truths or to lie, all because you don't want to talk about it, and that there is where this is. So, Mr. Thank You, that's my explanation on it. Oftentimes, it is because we want to be understood and we want to make sure that our connection is still strong. I should be able to share with you my day with the hope that you want to share yours with me, and maybe that may be asking a little too much, but that there is how the whole idea of reciprocation is looked upon from those of us who are very expressive, and those of us who talk, and those of us who are emotional. We're hoping that we can keep that connection together. And it's not about being a man or woman or feminine or masculine. It's about the connection, about understanding that I trust you with my feelings or whatever because I'm coming to you to talk. And if you say you're my friend, if you say you're my husband, if you say you're my lover, my significant other, someone who got my back, or et cetera, then that I'm hoping that you trust me enough to where I'm not going to use this against you, But oftentimes that using it against becomes misconstrued because, again, like I said before, if I remember something or, you end up reneging on something or you done changed your mind and I said, wait a minute, but you said this, 5 years ago, this is what you said, and up until now you was doing this and now you done changed your mind. When you were so adamant about it then, now I'm throwing something up in your face. Instead of you just saying, oh, yeah, I remember I did say that, but I've changed my mind, and now I decided to do this. See, that there is where this is. And so you want to sit down there and say, oh, I'm being a bitch, or I'm being too womanly, or I'm so much of a nag, and that's not the case. The case is, it's like, okay, wait a minute. I know your pattern is changing, and something is about to change. And I'm asking you or want to know because it's going to affect us some way, and that's what that is. So that's my take on it, Mr. Thank You. And I hope that answers your question. So anybody want to chime in on that, you're more than welcome. 347-205-9183. You can chime in and add your own to that if you like, and we will go from there. I had a second one, but I can't find it. I just lost it. Damn it. I just lost it. Fuck. And it's in here somewhere. Wait a minute. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find this damn thing. Because, honey, I'm telling you, it's so juicy. Okay? Oh, but while I'm waiting on this, let me say this. I'm going to do a YouTube video. I've had a couple of people who have asked me to come on board and to talk about something that happened on Facebook. This is a few weeks ago now, and they want me to address an issue regarding Walter Hampton, and there was something that he had did on Facebook that has gotten the community in a total outrage. So I want you guys to really understand. I'm going to do a video for it, and I want to express all of my points there in the video. And hopefully I'll do it tonight so I can have it posted. And for those of you who don't know the story, I have not seen the Facebook post. However, he did do a video on YouTube outlining what he had done. And that is, there was a young man that he was living with, however the story is, and the young man was very sexually promiscuous. And come to find out, Walter found out that the guy is HIV positive. And what he did was, in his anger and in his wanting to prove a point, he went on Facebook, he outed the guy by his first and last name, told everybody on Facebook that he was HIV positive, and then on top of it, he had taken pictures of his medicine bottles and had posted the pictures of his medicine on Facebook as well. And from what I'm told, and again, I have not seen this, but they were saying that in his outing or disclosing of this guy's status, that the medicine bottles had his name and address and phone number and stuff on it. You know how you get it from the pharmacy. And he went on and on and on and on and on about how, you know, it's wrong for him to do that, and, you know, you going around here infecting other people and not telling folks your status and blah, 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 blah. And though he thinks he's on the right path with that, I have many opinions and points that I'm going to bring up in this particular case. So you guys know Walter has been on the show, and I really adore Walter, okay? I really like him. Hey. And, you know, he's a cool cat when you get to know him, but his public policy and his tactics of being on the fight for HIV awareness and carrying on seem to be detrimental to the community, to people involved, and it's hurtful. So I'm going to be addressing that in a YouTube video, so please look for that. Again, once I post it, I'm going to make sure that we have the link to that on the website as well. So having said all that, let me conclude today. I hope you guys had a good time. Again, this is AEONSTAR Records that we were talking with Paris and Trevor, coming May 13th in Brooklyn on Fulton Avenue for their record launch, their album label launch party. And this is going to be a big to-do. So I hope you guys are having a good time with it. You understand the genre of gospel house, why that's important, and let's get it together. You know what I'm saying? So having said all that, honey, you may finish all of your crumpets, my darling, because the tea has been dished. And you've been dishing tea, darling, with Big Meach. If you love me, tell a friend. If you hate me, tell an enemy. But do know this. One way, shape, style, form, or fashion, this thing that I am doing will move forward. Okay. I will see you guys again at the appropriate time. I don't believe we're going to be here next week. We may. I'll just check the Facebook page for announcements and things. I may have to take next week off, although I have something scheduled. But we will be back. I know definitely on the 18th. We have a young author coming on the 18th, and also on the 24th of May, we have a young man, honey, who is, this is one of my first political interviews. His name is Harold Dennis. He's running for the DeKalb County Sheriff position here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm looking forward to that. So we're going to get a little political for us here in this election season. So make sure you guys tune in, okay? So with that, honey, be blessed and then become a blessing. I love you much. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you at the next appropriate time. Okay? Ciao.
Every day the unstoppable, do the impossible. We the undeniable, royalty indefinable.
Ford knows that your vehicle is a reflection of you. So they design beautifully innovative, stylish cars like the Explorer, Escape, and Fusion to make your journey safer, smarter, and more dynamic. Ford, born to roll.
Roll on, sister, roll on, roll on.
Learn more at IamBornToRoll.com.
Oh, 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 O'Reilly.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.